Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I have another chatty video for you, and we're talking about adult life versus teenage life. And I know you guys really do enjoy my chatty videos like this, and I really appreciate the lovely comments that I get and how many of us all relate to being the ugly friend and dealing with disappointment and all these kind of stuff that I've talked about in the past. So today I wanted to talk about adult versus teenage life, just because it's something that the older I get, the more I think about the things that I thought were really important when I was a teenager and how they actually don't matter so much now. And also I'm working with a charity called Childline. I'm sure lots of you know who Childline is. They have a campaign called FAPZ, which is basically all about how porn affects young people and their relationships. They noticed that there was an increase in the number of calls and the number of young people who were being impacted and affected by porn in maybe a way that wasn't the most ideal, clearly. So I'm going to link it all in the description bar below. I am actually voicing over one of the characters in one of the episodes, so do check it out and have a look at that. But it really made me feel like talking about adult life versus teenage life, because when I was a teenager, porn was not really a big thing, and there were a couple of things on like people's phones and stuff, but it wasn't like a major thing as it might be today. But it inspired me to talk about adult life versus teenage life. So get comfortable and get a cup of tea. When you are an adult, things like trendiness or having the latest things really don't matter anymore. If anything, being unique and having your own sense of style is really celebrated. Now, when I was growing up, I sadly did not have any designer things. Like, no, ain't no one buying you designer, Patricia, go sit down there. I even had really big feet as a child. You guys know about my big feet issues, and I could wear my mum's shoes, but my mum hasn't got stylish shoes, so she had grandma's shoes and I was wearing grandma's shoes, right? And I remember feeling so embarrassed by how untrendy my shoes were. I never had like the Nikes, the Reebok. My mum, she bought me a pair of Mercuries. Now, if you know what Mercuries are, they are the like Clark's trainers or something along the lines. They were so bad, and I remember that I was just so embarrassed about them that after wearing them for like 6 months and being tormented about my trainers, I remember that I basically one day got like a knife or like scissors or something. I slashed them up. I found some mud. I like slathered my shoes in mud, and I came home. I was like, Mum, I really need new trainers. And then she bought me some Ends, and Ends were a step up from Mercury, but clearly they were not the one. But I remember like how embarrassed I felt by not having trendy things. And now that I'm older, like I could not care. You see the Primark holes, I'll wear whatever I feel comfortable in. And yes, I like nice things and I like designers as well because I can afford them now, but please, whatever. Trendiness is not a thing that matters so much when you're an adult, which is a really cool. So if you're worried about that kind of fitting in and being trendy right now, don't worry, it will pass. Number 2, fake friendships. I feel like when you were a teenager, you had to be friends with Lucy, Mary, John. Like, you had to be friends with people, but you didn't really like them, but you didn't want to be left out. You just deep down know that you don't necessarily connect in that way, and you probably don't even like them, and you've heard that they've talked about you, but you're still smiling in each other's faces, and you know, all this kind of stuff where you have all these kind of tense friendships. Let me tell you, when you're an adult, no one's got time for fake friendships. Trust me, the people who are in your life are probably the people who are there to stay. The older you get, the more busy you get, and actually the people who stick around are the people who really love you and really care. And there's something so invigorating knowing that the team that you have around you is your ride or die. When you're an adult, you don't have to deal with an ever-changing body. I know some of you guys may have acne, you might have puppy fat, or you might be really skinny like I was. I was literally a bag of bones growing up, and I hated how skinny I was. I would eat McDonald's every day, and it was literally the thing I was most self-conscious about when I was young, which was literally being called like lollipop head and just being so skinny. And then when I hit like 18, 19, all of a sudden I just developed a couple of curves and a little bit of things that really made me look a lot sexier-ish to an extent, but by the time you're an adult, you kind of reach a plateau in your body. Now the question is whether or not you like it or not, but I know how hard it is to deal with a body shape that is always changing, skin that is always doing random crazy things. Don't worry guys, your body will settle down at some point in time and you won't have to faff with changing your jeans every month or two. The next thing is a lack of confidence. Now there's something about being a teenager or being young that means that you're probably not that confident. And the thing is, I know some of you guys may suffer from slight anxiety right now, or a lack of confidence, or not feeling able to speak up. Trust me, I feel like a lot of young people go through that, and being able to speak up for yourself comes with experience. The older you get, the more opportunities and chances you get to talk up, where you have to take control and you have to be confident. If you are serving people at a counter, you can't sit there mumbling and being uncomfortable. You are going to have to speak up. And a lot of the times when you're a teenager, you're being spoken to by people, by your teachers, you're being spoken to by your parents. There's always someone bossing you around. But when you're an adult, you can do what you want, and that really does help you develop a more self-confidence. So on the lines of confidence, it's much easier as an adult to speak to someone of the opposite sex. Yes, I'm telling you, I used to be someone who, I've been okay with talking to guys. If it's a guy that I fancy, oh my gosh, no, the level of awkward I become is literally 110. However, I know some of you guys get so nervous, and I'm gonna do a video all about boys and relationships and stuff that is coming up. But trust me, the older you get, the easier it becomes to speak to the opposite sex, because they end up being part of your social group. You might end up being a girl who only ever has all these girlfriends. Especially for me, I went to a girls' school, so I didn't really have that many boyfriends or boyfriends or boyfriends until I was like 19, okay? So don't worry about that. I know lots of you guys worry about being young and never having a boyfriend. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, the older you get, you end up having more encounters with guys, and you realize they're a little bit smelly, but actually they're not that bad, and they're kind of just like girls, but they cry a little bit less, and they're not as fabulous as females are. Actually, I know there's some guys out there who are fabulous as well, so I can't even say that. Also, when you're an adult, you don't have to ask permission for nothing. Now, if you are a rebel, I've always been a rebellious person, so I like to do stuff that wasn't really meant to do. But when you're an adult, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, right? You don't need to ask me no questions. You just do what you want to do. And there's something that's so very freeing about being like, you know what? I can take control of my life. I can do what I want. When you're a teenager, it's a little bit harder to do that. But by the time you're like 22, probably like 21, okay, you're considered legally an adult, and you get to make your own choices and your own decisions. And I only hope, and you hope, that you make the right decisions based on the community you have around you and examples that you have around you. Finally, when you're an adult, you become less scared of trying new things. And for me, this is like the most important thing. I have become someone who has literally pushed myself and done so many things that I don't like the older that I've got. And that might be from traveling to abseiling. And I hate physical activity, people, but I've done things all over the world that I would never have thought as a teenager I would ever be able to do. As a teenager, you actually can't fathom how much you'll be able to do in life, but you are able to do so much. You get to experience so much the older you get. And I can only encourage those of you who are teenagers to be patient, right? Literally, the best is yet to come. If you ever feel like you're maybe a little bit stressed right now in teenage life, trust me, you're going to be an adult soon, okay? Things get a lot better, and you know, the world is a massive and amazing and a beautiful place. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and it gave you a little bit of insight into me. I'm very happy about just getting older and maturer, and I want you guys to just join me on that journey. And I have so many young people watching, and I want to encourage you that, you know, you can get to where I myself am, and further and better and stuff like that. I hope that gives you some inspiration. As mentioned, I am working with Childline on their FAPS project, so make sure you check it out. It's all linked in the description bar below. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. So guys, today we are going to slow it down, and I'm going to share with you my relaxing evening routine. Lots of you have asked about this, so I hope you enjoy.